Gailey from Ashley's Reads on Twitter or Fiction and Fantasy on Instagram. I am here today, 2 weeks late, to tell you about my January TBR list. I will be taking part in 2 readathons of sorts this month, although one is public. It is called the Among Us readathon, based on the very much trending lately game called Among Us, where you are either a crewmate or an imposter. It's kind of like Mafia, but in space with little cartoon blobs. Love it. The other one that is private amongst me and my friends is something that we've decided to try this year with my vlog squad, where each one of us picks somewhere between like 3 to 5 or more books that we really enjoyed. I tried to pick ones that I enjoyed, I think in 2020? No, in 2019. I can't remember what I put anymore, actually. Anyway, the point is we all picked 3 to 5 books, and the goal is for each one of us to read one choice from the other people's picks to kind of branch out a little bit and almost like get to know each other better, because you're reading something that one of your friends really loved. So I'm really excited about that. I think that at least 3 of them have already read one of my picks, so I am very behind, but that's how it normally goes around here. So these picks, these TBR lists coincide with one another, so there's no separate books or anything like that. So we're gonna get right into it. I'm here today dressed adorably to let you all know that I am a completely innocent, completely non-sus pink crewmate who is absolutely not planning on killing every color crewmate on the ship before February 1st. Or maybe I am. Yeah, I definitely am planning on killing everyone on the ship. Well, now that that's out of the way, I do have a list of every color crewmate that I'm planning on helping with the tasks along the way, you know? Let's get on to the list. I'm gonna tell you guys what books I'm planning to read, what prompts they fulfill, and who rec them to me if they are with my readathon. So, first things first, I will be faking a task. So we're gonna tell these people that I am swiping a card, aka reading a standalone. For this one, I have decided to read The Library Book by Susan Orlean. This one is a pick by my friend Nikoleta. I have already started this book and I am 5% of the way through, and I am really enjoying it so far. I think I've already bookmarked a couple of quotes to use in the review, and it is, so far all I know is it's a nonfiction, and it is written, I believe, from the first person perspective of someone who really loved libraries growing up, and they thought they grew out of libraries, and now that they're a parent they love libraries again. That's all I've got so far, but it's not bad. I'm reading that as an ebook. The second one is to vent, aka read a book that is an anticipated surprise. So for this one it was really easy because I don't read the backs of books before I read them, so they're all a surprise to me. For this one, I picked The Duke Who Didn't by Courtney Milan. This is by my friend Gailey. All of these people have really great YouTube channel titles, but I am, to be quite honest, very hungry and very tired after a long day. So I have all of my friends listed on my profile as the featured channels, and it will take you, or channels, and it will take you directly to their vlogs. So I definitely recommend checking all of those out. This one is Bailey's pick. I have not started reading it yet, but I did just find it that as of today, aka like January 14th or 2039 or wherever we are now, that this book is 99 cents on Kindle Daily Deals, so I definitely picked that up because the library still has a 5-week hold on this book. So I'm very excited for that one. I know absolutely nothing about it except that it probably involves a duke, or I've been duped. For this one, it's To Blame Someone Else because, like I said earlier, me? Sus? Yes. So this one is to read a book with a morally gray character. For this one, I picked Ignite Me by Tahereh Mafi. This is a book that I personally really want to read and have put it off to do lots of other books in the past few months of readathons. And in 2021, I also want to take some time to do things that I enjoy, and not just because I feel like, I don't want to say expected of me from books, but I feel like I do start a lot of series or like read a lot of buddy reads lately. So it means a lot to me that I put this book at the top of my TBR list because I keep postponing it. It's by one of my favorite series last year. And there is a character named Warner, or that's one of his names, but he is quite morally gray. And honestly, I think a lot of the characters are, and that's kind of the point of the series. So I'm really excited to get into that. I'm hoping to get it as an audiobook. The next one is To Clear Asteroids, aka Bye Bye Red. For this one, I will be reading a sci-fi book, and I chose The Echo Wife by Sarah Gailey, which is a NetGalley that I received, no, that's wrong, which is an ARC that I received from NetGalley. So I am very grateful to NetGalley and Tor Books for the opportunity to read this. I actually read the excerpt on Bookish first, and it seemed really interesting. I know that it is about a woman whose husband leaves her for another younger woman, which I imagine is a common trope slash plot slash thing that does happen. But the kicker with this one is that the other younger woman is her own clone. And I'm not entirely sure. I thought maybe in the excerpt that it was possible that she's actually just a clone of her mother, but I don't know if that is a thing at all. I think that may have just been something that I was inferring, that I inferred, but I could very, very much be wrong. I read that a few months ago. So I'm excited to read that. I think it comes out February this coming month, so definitely check that out if you're into sci-fis. The next one I will be doing is To Stabilize Steering, aka Kill Brown. And for that one, I will be reading a book that has been on my TBR list for a long time. So for that one, I picked Caraval by Stephanie Garber, which is my friend Staijah's pick, and I'm very excited to read this. I think on Goodreads it says I wanted to read it since 2013. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I just read other things, but I don't know much about it. But I know that another book I want to read called Where Dreams Descend by Janella her book was kind of inspired by, I think it was Caraval and Phantom of the Opera. I could be really wrong about that, but I definitely think I will read this one before and read the next series after, because I'm really excited to read that series as well. The next thing that I will be doing is submitting a scan, aka Killing Lime. For this one, it's to read a book that comforts you or a book that you feel represents you. So for this one, I did a comfort read, a series that I really, really enjoyed for a VHS tape series. I've watched like a YouTube reiteration and movies and things like that. And the TV show Anne with E. And with an E. I love Anne of Green Gables, but I have never actually read the series. This one is one of my mom's favorites, as well as a pick from my friend Martine, and I've happened to own this book for years. So I am very excited to finally read this. I think that I finally have a sequel, and I think that my grandmother gave me a copy of this as well at one point. So very, very excited to finally read it. Hopefully I enjoy. I can't imagine I would not enjoy a book that all of the series I like are based off of. But next I will be inspecting sample part 1, aka Killing Another Pink Crewmate. So for this one, it is to read a plant on the cover, and I will be reading Where the Crawdads Sing, I think, by Delia Owens. I probably will pronounce 95% of these authors wrong, and I'm very sorry. Please correct me in the comments if you know the correct pronunciation. Anyway, this book, I saw in an article that it was really good, maybe last summer, and then my librarian saw me checking out Outlander, and she told me, you would love Where Crawdads Sing, and I was like, okay, I have so many books I would probably love. And then my best friend Natasha decided to read it, and I think she actually already finished it, so I don't know if it's technically a buddy read, but I'm gonna read it now finally as well, and I was told that there's a plant on the cover, so we're good to go for that one. Next, I will be cleaning the O2 filter, and that is To Kill White. For this one, I will be reading a book with a beautiful cover. I received it from MacLeod, the author, and I am reading it in exchange for an honest review, and then once I get that one done, I get to read the sequel. So the cover is beautiful, and this book is inspired by Pokemon. So it's like an adult, if I say an adult version of Pokemon, that sounds really raunchy, and that's not what I mean, but it's more like a college age people playing Pokemon, basically. Anyways, I don't know how to properly describe it, but I am actually enjoying it a lot, so I am excited to read the sequel. You guys should check it out if you like Pokemon. The next one that I will be reading is, sorry, I wrote this in yellow and it's actually quite difficult to read. Divert Power Part 1, aka Kill Yellow. This is to read a book by an author of color, and for this one, I picked An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. And this one I believe is my friend Nessa's pick. I honestly don't know anything about this book. I'm pretty sure I picked it up because it was $2.75 in the library and it was on my TBR list. I don't know if it's dystopian fiction or like fantasy or both, so I have no idea what to expect, and I'm excited to finally pick it up off my bookshelf. It's actually quite dusty, so that's embarrassing. The next task is to read a comic or a graphic novel. So for this one, since I read Katara and the Pirate Silver last month because it came out in my library by some miracle had access to it, I will now be reading Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Promise Part 1 by Luen Yang. That might be the one from last month. I'm not 100% sure. That was To Kill Cyan. Next one is to start The Reactor, aka Kill Black, and that is to read a romance. So for this one, I have picked Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin, which is another book that I keep saying I'm going to read, that I pre-ordered and I have not. It's the second in the series, and I don't know if it's a duology or a trilogy because I've been sitting on this book for a while. And I still have my pre-order goodies in an unread email somewhere that I was worried about getting on time, and I've still never read the book. So next is to empty the garbage Part 1, aka to read a book that is low on my TBR list, and that will help me to kill Orange. And for this one, I've chosen Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is a book that I do really want to read, but I just ordered it. I did a poll in my Twitter and this one won by a lot. So because it's a book that should be low on my stack and y'all viewers voted for it, I will be trying to read this one if I make it that far. The next one is to Align Engine Output Part 2, aka Kill Green, which is to read a book over 500 pages. For this one, I picked Heart of Flames by Nikki Papreto, and that is the sequel to Crown of Feathers. I've been trying to read this since I took part in the Crown of Feathers readathon, and I am still not getting to it. It's actually available at the library now, and I keep clicking deliver 3 days later and just hoping eventually I'll get to it. The second to last one is to Divert Power Part 2, which is To Kill Purple. So To Kill Purple, I have to read an author that is new to me. So for this one, I picked These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, which is a book club pick, I believe, by Donna Sundoku, who was my team leader last month, Team Nutcracker's leader in the Reindeer Readathon. And although I was not able to be super actively involved in that readathon, I did think Donna was great, and I subscribed to her YouTube channel, and she is starting a book club. I think it may be like a romance book club, but I'm not 100% sure. So I put this one on my list because I would like to take part in that, even if I have to read this one a little bit late. And the final task is to inspect sample part 2, aka Kill Navy, read a book with a person on the cover. And for this one, I will be reading I think novella, Dark Fate Outcast by Autumn M. Burt. And I am 10% through this one already. I am really enjoying it. I do have some exciting news involving this book, but I am not going to talk about it in this video yet because I need to finish the book and see what I think of it first. But I don't know a lot about it except that the main character is a drug addict and he is a fae. And in the very beginning, he is essentially kicked out of his fae realm to Earth. And I don't really know anything else about it. But so far, I like the writing style and I am really excited. I got this book for free from Autumn Ember in exchange for an honest review. I'm counting 15 books, so that could be right. I have some pretty graphics on my Twitter and Instagram if you would like to check that out. And that is pretty much it for me today. I realize now that I am so hungry that I actually forgot to tell you about some of the books, but truthfully, I don't really know anything about these books. I have not been doing weekly vlogs for pretty much all of January so far. I will try and get that up, start doing that again once I am more caught up, but I just finished filming my November wrap-up 2 days ago, so if that gives you any indication of where we're at, I'm behind. And I just heard right before, like seconds before I clicked record, that Michael may be back in a 7-day quarantine, and I'm really only super productive when I have the house to myself. So, but I would be definitely willing to sacrifice the vlog time to get to spend time with Michael. Now, I really don't take for granted having him around the house again, so that is really nice. And we've been playing Overcooked, so that's been really fun too. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in and hearing all about my books. I am super excited. My friend Melody also joined in on our kind of collab of reading each other's books. So it's Melody of Strawberry Lemon. I am calling out her channel because I remember the name and I still need to put it up on my featured channel. But she picked Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And I read that one a few months ago, so I am going to count the sequel as her book, and I will be reading Gemina at some point, hopefully in February, hopefully as a buddy read with Noah, since I buddy read Illuminae with him, and that was really enjoyable. And well, it was a lot of emotions, actually. Enjoyable reading it with my brother, but the book was enjoyable, doesn't cut it, but aggravating, soul hurting. But yeah, that is pretty much it for my plans for January. Obviously, I'm not getting through all these books, to be quite honest, but it's nice to have goals to aspire to. So I will try to get at least 5 of these books started. The first one, the library book, I have to start first because you have to fake a task first, and the rest I can just read as I feel. So we'll see how it goes. And I have news for what readathon I've decided for February, as well as news about a readathon that I am hosting in March. So stay tuned for that. And I would love to hear what you guys have been reading in January, or what your favorite read of last year was.